All right, let's get into section 17.7, which is the pineal gland. And there's really not a whole lot to say about this one, in fact, because we're actually not all that sure of its function entirely. So if you remember when we talked about the hypothalamus, that's part of the diencephalon of the brain, it sits inferior and somewhat anterior to the thalamus. Inferior but somewhat posterior to the thalamus is what we call the pineal gland. It's a very, very tiny endocrine gland, though I said the functions are actually not entirely clear. The pinealocyte cells that make up the pineal gland, they are known to produce and secrete the amine hormone melatonin, which, if you've ever taken, you can actually take supplements of melatonin. It's a hormone that is derived from serotonin. What we know, the secretion of melatonin varies according to level of light received by your eyes from the environment. And so when photons of light will stimulate the retinas, a nerve impulse is sent to a region of the hypothalamus, which we call the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or the SCN. And that's important and regulates your biological circadian rhythms. From that SCN, the nerve signal is carried to the spinal cord and eventually to the pineal gland, where the production of melatonin is inhibited. Okay, and so that basically just what that means is if your retinas are picking up light, the pineal gland is not producing melatonin. As a result, blood levels of melatonin will fall, which produce wakefulness. In contrast to that, if it's dark in your room during the evening or whatever at night, melatonin production increases, boosting blood levels and causing drowsiness. And so that's basically why they say if you have trouble sleeping, it's important to make sure that you're in a completely dark room. You're not looking at a cell phone, a laptop, a TV, because levels of blue light especially inhibit production of melatonin. And also you can take melatonin tablets, which I actually recommend if you have trouble falling asleep, is to take supplements, 5 to 10 milligrams of melatonin, and it will actually cause you to become drowsy very quickly, and it's not habit forming or anything, and I think it's actually pretty beneficial, but I'm not a doctor, so your results may be different than mine. But this, like I said, it influences your body's circadian rhythms, and it's just important to keep in mind that this is not, we don't fully know if that's the only function of the pineal gland, but it's definitely one that I think is interesting. And like I said, that's pretty much all I have to say. It's a relatively short video for it, but I'll see you in the next one.